All right. Okay. All right. There we go. Well, this is gonna be. Hey, y'all. Thanks for stopping by the stand again. This is gonna be my first time trying out the traditional sealed little arena day one open. I don't know what it's called. This is the first time. I just clicked on it, went ahead and spent the 5,000 gems, and let's see how we do. So far, these actually look pretty good. Rares and mythic rares that I got. So I have like two routes I can go. I see is either using Nissa and Tyrranax Rex for some really big creatures, or potentially go like an Orzhov control with White Sun's Twilight and Kaya. Um, I don't really think this Mirren's Safe House is going to be too helpful. But the Tablet of Completion, this could be interesting just to have a little bit of a mana rock that'll give me some colorless. Um, and then just a card draw engine. Um, yeah, it's interesting. Might bring this in, especially in my control list. I don't know about the green deck. Potentially if I have some oil counter synergy. So I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. Let me actually go ahead and turn the audio up now for this. All right, so let's just look at the cards that we actually do have. White actually looks pretty decent. Um, the Bladed Ambassador is really nice. Looks like we have a decent little toxic build with these three so far. I only have one of them. Planar Disruption will be a nice little removal. Um, it's an okay combat trick. I'm not the biggest fan of this. I've played quite a few drafts and I've used this and it's been okay. The card draw on it is nice if you can get it, but if you don't, then it's just fine combat trick. Um, this is just a solid 3-drop. I don't really see too much equipment. Just have these two, which are not exactly the greatest. This one is probably the best equipment of these two, because you get that flying ability and plus 1-0. This, I've never been a fan of this against all odds. I mean, it is nice to have a little flicker effect, but it's a little costly, and I don't really think I have, at least on the white side, I don't really see much benefit for it, aside from like if I already used my oil counter here and then brought it back, but aside from that, not really effective. This is costly, but it's a decent removal, and it could remove an enchantment or artifact, because you never know what you're going to go against. Let's see, what about blue here? We have pretty decent run out. It's okay. I do like this Malcator's Watcher. This Icarus Synthesizer's nice. I don't think I'm going to be going blue just based off of what I'm seeing. Let's see, black, we have some decent control tools. Nice little removal. Because if we were to go the white-black control with Kaya, probably want to have the poison counters building up just so I could make use of Anoint with Affliction. There's some decent ways to be able to do that, but it looks like it might actually be kind of weak. So let's see what else we have here in red. Not many creatures. We do have Oil Counter Generator, which will allow us to create a bunch of 1/1 Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens. Let's see. Activate only if an oil counter was removed from a permanent you controlled this turn. I mean, it's a nice little engine for the token generation. This is pretty decent. Nice little removal, deal 5 for 3. Here's some oil synergy that could actually be nice. It's a good tempo swing. More oil counter synergy. Yeah, not too bad. Oh, this is nice. I really like this. Let's see, what else do we have here? Nice Contagious Vorak. We have a couple, whatever these guys are called, the Icarspit Basilisks. Nice defensive tools, while also building up the poison. Ooh, a Silvok Battle Chair. This is a very strong card. It looks like our green is actually quite strong. Very high end. That's the only problem. This is a really good Azorius card. Don't really know if I'd make too much use of it though, just because I think my blue was pretty weak, especially towards the artifact synergy. Right now I only see the Meldweb Strider, which isn't that great. The Eyes of Malcator are actually not that bad, but if you don't have enough artifacts to actually trigger the uh, ability to make it a 4/4 creature, it's kind of weak. If I were to go the Azorius combo, yeah, I don't have much in ways of artifact creatures. Probably wouldn't be able to make use of it too much, but the Scry ability is really nice, especially in the limited format. So it looks like we may be white and black, so Orzhov or potentially just mono green. But my concern if I did mono green is lacking removal. Potentially run Gruul for the oil counter synergy, because I do have some oil counters here as well, which seems pretty nice. Get the Contagious Vorak to potentially proliferate to help with that too. Awaken the Sleeper. Not a big fan of it. The Hazardous Blast would actually make it a very interesting run out with the green deck, because I would have quite a few big creatures. Like, I really want to run the Tyrranax Rex. It's kind of greedy, but I kind of want to do it. All right, let's see. What in terms of artifacts do we see here? We got Dune Mover, pretty decent. Prophetic Prism is okay. Doesn't really give you anything aside from being able to mana fix. Should I draw, if I am going to run my green, I would want to be able to fix these higher end plays. Because if I do go Gruul, it may not be able to have all of the green sources that I need. Tablier of Compleation would also be nice for the oil synergy, so I think I would run this even in my non-control list, just so I could have the oil synergy. Mere Custodian, it's fine. I'm not the biggest fan of it. That's actually okay, Mere Kinsmith, but I wouldn't be running that many mirrors. It would only be able to find this Mere Custodian. And then Phyrexian Atlas would actually be kind of interesting as a way to drain. Or not drain, but at least just do 1 damage as I tap it. So, let's see. Let's see what a green deck would look like. I would definitely bring in these. I would want to bring in this. Probably not that. It'd be kind of interesting to ramp up, though, so I'm going to bring it in just for grins. So Oil Gorger, we'd bring this in. I don't really know how much Toxic I would be able to build up on them. So potentially this would come out, because otherwise it's just a 3/3, which it's fine, but potentially would want to have, ooh, nice little removal here. I would rather have another card that may synergize better with like the oil synergy or something in red, or just have a better removal spell, something like that. Would want to bring in the Incubation Sac for sure. Question is, if I were to be an all-out green deck, what would that even look like? Because then I would need to fill out probably with this, and then probably the Mere Custodian. And I would have to do this or cut a land. How would that look? Oh wait, no. I would actually have to add a land if I wanted to do that. It's interesting if I were to run these. Put it into your hand. Because that's not a horrible effect, but I feel like if I were to go mono green, my concern here with this deck would be my capability to actually remove things on the board. Because right now my only removal would be Ruthless Predation, and then the destroy target artifact or enchantment, which more often than not will not remove any creatures, and then I would just have to hope that these would be enough. So I don't really think I could do just a mono green. Go ahead and take a peek at what the Gruul side of things could look like if I were to bring that in instead. Have some pretty decent combat tricks in Free from Flesh and Blazing Crescendo. So let's take a look. Let's take a look at this. This might be interesting. So I would cut these two without a doubt, and that the Kinsmith, and then let's see here. We would definitely want to bring in this. The only concern here is I think I would have to bring in creatures like this. Then I think that would be it. I don't think I would want to bring in this because we're already pretty high on the curve here. But overall, we have a pretty decent looking Gruul list set up here. I don't, even though I want to play Kaya, in limited, it's already going to be really tough getting to this high end, because what I'm going to have to be focusing on is, one, finding the land, which Thirsting Roots can help me do, and then even proliferate on my oil counter focus. The question is, with my focus trying to be either oil counters and ramping up, how am I going to survive? So let's take a look. So removal wise, what do we have? We have our combat tricks in the ways of Free from Flesh. We have Blazing Crescendo. Not necessarily, yeah, no, it's definitely not a combat trick, but it does help buff up my creature and then fights. So that's pretty nice. I probably wouldn't run my heavy focus on Toxic, but there's an argument to be made that it could actually be okay, because I do have some proliferation effects, and I don't really care about killing them with the Toxic. It's just a matter of being able to get the Corrupted trigger. Because as soon as I get this, then it does have some flashback capabilities then. But again, I don't think I really care too much about that. I think focusing on this oil counter is really going to be nice. Let's see how much oil we got. So, right now it looks like I'd only have potentially 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 creatures or permanents that would have an oil counter on it. Okay, it's not horrible. Only problem I see is that I would definitely need more ways of getting oil. And I think if I were to do the oil counter, bringing in this churning reservoir would actually be quite nice with this anointer. Like I said, it's going to be a major tempo swing being able to do that. So I think that's what I'm going to go for, is this little oil counter mix. So let's start making some cuts, because there's certainly a lot of cards in here that I probably don't need to run. Like, I don't need 2 of these. Potentially, I'm not even going to run the Engulfer, but we'll see. I mean, I have to run these. Like, even if it's bad, this is going to be such a big swing on the board. Potentially only run one of these. Maybe I don't run the Oil Gorger Troll. It is slow. It's a small body for 5, and, like, yeah, it comes with a card draw ability, but I don't know. I'll think about that one. The Toxic Plague Nurse. It's a nice little body for a 3/4. for 4 cost. So potentially I'll run that. Maybe I cut one of these and just have one. And I could cut a Plague Nurse as well. I think I would actually want this Phyrexian Atlas. Um, just a nice mana rock to help me get up to my Tyrranax Rex and Nissa. And potentially, if I have the corrupted ability triggered, then start doing damage that way if the board gets stalled out. Which it does look like it's quite possible for that to happen for me. I definitely can't be removing any of my removal because that is going to be absolutely necessary. Predation Steward, certainly want this. Nice little oil counter synergy. This is a nice removal spell. This is certainly one of them that I could see getting cut right now because it is nice to be able to fetch the land, but I'm not the biggest fan of just having it be put on top because that way I just lose my potential draw into another land as it is, or even a better spell, because maybe I don't even need to have the land get fetched. So I think I'm actually going to cut that, see how this goes. Yeah, I really do like the fetching of the land just because then I can find the sources that I actually don't have enough of, but again, it's not as great as obviously adding it directly to your hand. Yeah, I think this is it. The question is, do I want to have just 16 land, or um, do I want to do 17 because my curve is quite high. High average cost for my spells, and all of my impact is really going to be coming from my later creatures anyway, which makes it very difficult when I look at this. I don't have as many creatures as I would like, especially at the low end. So if I could have more 2-drops, that would be perfect. Which may be the reason we actually do run the Dune Mover. And maybe bring in this Ickerspit Basilisk. Remove the Oil Gorger Troll. I will lose the card draw on it and life gain, which could become handy because since I have such a high curve, I will have a difficult time against the aggressive decks. Mainly because I don't have much ways to interact with the board without having a creature on the board already, because I only have one way to remove without a creature on the board. So it is a bit tough. It is a bit tough, without a doubt. But I really don't think there's much else that I would want to run. The only thing else that I could do is potentially I don't think I would want to do Selesnya. It'd be interesting. Because then I could actually go more on the toxic focus. Because I actually do have a pretty good run out of creatures with toxic. This Crawling Chorus is annoying because as soon as you remove it, you then have to deal with the stupid 1/1 might. And then I have 2 solid 2-drops here as well. It's actually kind of interesting. I think the problem if I do this is my removal is going to still be a little lackluster, but I would be able to pick up Annex Entry, Planar Disruption, potentially even run the Compleat Devotion. You know what? Let's take a peek. Let's see how this looks. And then anything up higher, potentially the Hexgold Hover Wings, being able to get flying would be really nice on some creatures. This is an interesting thing to do, because it could just, if I'm totally screwed, potentially that could be nice. Let's see, if we were to do this, how do we look now? Definitely much lower curve. We have an additional creature, which is nice. Interesting. And then I would definitely want to run my other Plague Nurse. So let's see. Let's bring in the green again. I probably wouldn't need this. I still have a very high curve. Honestly, probably don't even need to run that in this deck. I would want the Sylvalk Battle Chair because this is such a big impact. I can start equipping that to any of my like mites or smaller creatures, make them even bigger threats. And technically, I actually do have 2 more creatures in the way of these equipment, so it's actually pretty good. And then with this, I would actually be able to trigger the corrupted ability much more frequently. So being able to do this is actually going to be quite nice, especially in this Selesnya list since I have a lot more toxic creatures now. Vanish into eternity, go away. Yeah, this is actually looking pretty decent with regards to being able to get the corrupted ability triggered and apply a lot of early pressure. I think this might actually be the run out. Yeah, this might be it. I do like the oil counter idea, but I don't know if I have enough to be able to make it work. Excuse me. Interesting ideas. I think I actually do want to run this. It's kind of nice. Good little mana rock. I'd be able to get it after 2 triggers, so I wouldn't be able to make use of this until the 3rd turn I played it. So turn 2 I'd play it, get an oil counter, turn 3. So I'd have the mana rock ability by turn 4. Um, which would help me jump up into an oil gorger troll. Um, and if I had any of my other mana rocks out, potentially even jump up to a turn 6 play in ways of my Sylvalk Battle Chair. Um, so not bad. Not bad. Let's see. Anything else that may be worth bringing in and cutting something else? That is the question. I don't think I need the Prophetic Prism. I don't think I do. Tough decisions. But I do think I want to run the Selesnya. Probably just cut this part out because I'm just thinking now what I want to cut. Probably don't need this copper long legs. Let's get rid of that. Two, three, 4, 5 ways to remove. I have more creatures now too. Yeah, I think this is it. Oh. Alright, and this is what we're actually going to end up running out, so let's see how we end up doing in this little day one. Hopefully, we can go ahead and get all the way to 7 wins. First time I've ever done this, so this will be really interesting. Let's go ahead and jump right into that first game. See y'all there. Alright, this is a decent looking hand. I don't have any turn 1 or 2 plays, which is kind of a bummer. But, you know, it seems to be okay. So, I think I'll keep it. I'm going first, so mulliganing here would feel really bad. I do have a nice little ramper here, so I think, yeah, let's go ahead and keep it. See how it goes. I have some nice toxic synergies already, so be able to get that going pretty quickly. Hopefully looking to top deck any of my 1-drops, 2-drops, preferably the Bladed Ambassador or the Duelist of Deep Faith would be really good pickups for us. We got an Evolving Adaptive, so this is potentially going to be a very aggressive deck, so I think our response to that is going to be to get our Ichor Spit Basilisk down. Mere Convert. How interesting. Pay 2 life, add 1 mana of any color. Annex Sentry is a really nice pickup here. It'll be a nice way to remove his Evolving Adaptive, set it back to 1 whenever he does manage to remove the Sentry, and defend myself from this being able to build up Toxic. He is going to have a little bit of a mana rock, so the question is, do I want to take away his ability to ramp to potentially a turn 4 play? I think the play is definitely going to be to get this Annex Sentry down. So we're going to do this. I think I'm actually more afraid of his ramp. This is a tough choice. You know what? We're going to go for this. Just because I don't want that to get spiraling out of control. So now he needs to have an answer for my Annex if he wants to start building this back up. He's going to be able to fly over me now because of the Flensing Raptor. He's going to start building up that poison. So, my response doesn't look like I have that great of responses here. So, I'm just going to play on curve. Just get my Plague Nurse down. Start trying to apply my own pressure with the Toxic. Yep. Opponent goes ahead and swings, builds up some more Toxic. Starting to get pretty low on life total, so hopefully be able to block this or find a way to remove it. Bloated Contaminator is a bit scary. So I think I'm going to have to get my Ichor Spit Basilisk down. I can't speak today, apparently. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to do this. Search for a white source. Found it. I was really hoping I'd be able to find this, but this is too important to continue finding my lands I need. I can't swing here, because otherwise the Contaminator will just get me. Right now it does look pretty rough for me. Hopefully he's not going to swing out. We'd actually have some good blocks. This would have blocked his Branch Blight. Oof. This is going to be quite bad now. Because now his whole board is going to get +2/+2. Yeah, that might just be enough to win it for him, unfortunately. He's going to be applying so much pressure now. So I have this option here, which will help me at least remove some of his stuff. Let's see, when he swings, this is going to be a 4-3. This will be a 5-3. So I'll be able to kill this, kill this. This is going to be a 6-6 swinging at me. These are going to be the unblockable stuff. He's going to have 3, 6, 10. And then I would have to block here. I couldn't let this trample through for any, which is a really bad beat. Oof. Yeah. This is not looking good. If he removes a single creature on my side, it's over. So unfortunately, he was just able to apply so much pressure even though he was going second. Yeah, his board would have been even crazier if he was able to get this adaptive. But I think we may be able to survive. He could potentially have a Titanic growth, which would save him. So the blocks we need to do here, it's going to be here. He'll probably kill my Plague Nurse. And then we block here and here. Keep my Annex Sentry back, so I'm going to go down to 1. He could very easily have a combat trick. He doesn't. Very well. So I'll go ahead and remove this, make him indestructible. I think this is going to be all for naught, unfortunately. Because he's still going to have 3 flyers. I don't have any of my reachers or removals. So we are hanging on by a thread, and that thread is snapping. Yeah. Yeah, just found a land. It's not going to be enough. Unfortunate, game 1, but that's what happens sometimes. Yeah. Just going to have to jump right into the next one, so let's see how we do. Okay, this is a pretty solid hand. We have a nice turn 1 play followed up by just a nice curve here. So even though I'm going second, I think this is great. Turn 3, I'll be able to swing the board a bit if he does have a board focused around creatures. Potentially even remove an artifact if I wanted to. Slaughter Singer is a bit scary, so in response, obviously I gotta get my Duelist of Deep Faith down. Not swing. I think that'll be a nice target to go ahead and hit with my Annex Sentry. Getting the Flensing Raptor is a bit of an issue. So first, gonna go ahead and just go to combat, swing with the Duelist of Deep Faith. Start building up my own toxic board. Question is, do I want to leave his Raptor up since this is what destroyed me last game? But you know what? I think the Slaughter Singer is just way too dangerous. Just go ahead and get that off the board. Armored Scrap Gorger. So he's going to try to start ramping up himself. So play here is definitely to swing out. So let's go ahead and go to combat first. Do that. Start building up our own toxic counters, and now we have him corrupted, so this is really great for us. First, we'll do the Thirsting Roots to find a forest, because I think I'm going to play the Tablet of Compleation, and then follow up with the Oil Gorger Troll on turn 5 to draw. Or turn 5. So, yep, let's go ahead and search for the forest to be able to do that. Get the forest down, play the tablet, and now I'll go ahead and pass. See what the opponent does here. They could potentially, if they have another land, ramp up to a 6 cost. Elesh Norn, what a card. This is scary. That is a scary card to see. I don't really know how I'm going to deal with that. I think the only thing I could do is Planar Disruption on this. Or get to one of my big creatures to fight. I think that's going to be my best bet, is try to... That's a decent card for me. Can start swinging with that even, but I think first I definitely need to get the Oil Gorger Troll down to try to draw into Tyrranax Rex. Elesh Norn prevents me from drawing. I totally forgot about that second ability. That's even worse. Oh, that feels so bad. I just gotta pass the turn. That's a big misplay. What a card to get on this. Oh boy, Basilica Shepherd. So he's gonna create 4 1/1s. Oof. Yeah, Elesh Norn is probably just gonna be too much for me to be able to handle. I do have a ramp effect now, which is okay, but I don't have anything effective to ramp into. And my Vorak isn't going to be able to do his ability because of Elesh Norn. Pretty tough spot here. I think I have to get my Ichor Spit down and the Vorak, even though his ability isn't going to trigger. Because right now I think he's just going to kill me in the air. This has been a pretty rough 2 games for us, unfortunately. Oof, Ruthless Predation, and now he's getting his Slaughter Singer back. Not sure why he swung with that. I mean, I guess he just figures he's gonna win. But I don't think he has yet. This could actually give me a chance to come back. This is going to turn into a 3-3. But I think I'm more concerned about his Toxic buildup. So he's going to get me to... He's doing 7 damage in the air. So it'll drop me to 4. And then... This would get me to 2. I'm going to hold. He could have Titanic Growth or something. Some other combat trick to kill me. Could have Compliat Devotion. Tyvar's Stand would get him. Yep, there it is. He actually did have it. So that's unfortunately going to be the end of this game. And now we got to move on to the next one and hope we can win 7 in a row. No, I didn't. Alright, so this does not look like a hand that we can keep. Only green mana and a bunch of white mana plays. This is basically a dead card until way late. I don't think I can make use of these cards. It'd be very risky to hope I draw one of my 7 planes. It's a 1 in 5 chance. So I'd have 2 turns to draw. Mm-mm-mm. It's close to a 40% chance to draw planes. Let's just go with my gut, which was to mulligan. I think this was the right call. So this actually looks like a much better hand for me to be able to start building the oil counters early. And then Contagious Vorak can help me quite a bit here. This incubation sac will be a nice way to build up a board a little bit later on. So let's just get this down. If we draw a land potentially by this Contagious Vorak, by the time it comes down, potentially I even just build up by proliferating. He could go ahead and sacrifice that for the incubation sac. See what he does. Chooses to keep it alive. So, my response... Just go ahead and get my tablet down. Be able to start triggering this ability shortly. Proliferating might be the best bet here. Plays the Hexgold Halberd. I'll be able to defend myself from that, at least with my Vorak, so that's nice. Drawing the land here is also quite nice because then I can just go ahead and start proliferating. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Thirsting Roots is another way that I can go ahead and proliferate as well. Another forest, and I am unfortunately pushing Nissa down to the bottom. These two I'm actually okay with missing out on. But missing out on Nissa for later game is going to be a bit of a concern, so maybe I actually use Thirsting Roots to find a land to reshuffle my deck. So, if that's what I'm going to be doing, searching for a land with that, I think I'm actually okay with proliferating. But I can't really make use of it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this instead. Because this is nice to be able to get this out of my deck. Veil of Assimilation. Whenever Veil enters the battlefield or another artifact enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains vigilance. That's not good. It's going to allow him to start swinging out with that, so hopefully I can find my Annex Sentry to be able to remove his... This is an artifact, right? So I could even remove it that way, but I don't think it'll be effective enough. White Sun's Twilight is actually quite nice, because he's going to continue applying quite a bit of pressure. So let's get the forest down. I can go ahead and remove an oil counter, create a 3/3. I think I just go ahead and start creating this as much as I possibly can. And now I will go ahead and search for a land as well, because I do want to reshuffle my deck. I have a plains. I only need 2 white sources, so I'm actually going to go for another forest. The question is, do I swing? I think I need to start applying some pressure myself. If he wants to double block, I'm actually okay with this. He chooses not to, because then he would have to re-equip this for 3, which would be quite a waste of a turn. Hopefully he doesn't have many artifacts, but considering he's only played artifact cards makes me concerned a bit. So we'll see what he has. Furnace Punisher. Not too much of a threat for us here, which is good. Find another land, unfortunately. So... +1, +2. Just concerned about having to double block this, so I think I actually do Ruthless Predation on it. Let's see, how much mana do we have to work with? We do have 6, so I can create another 3/3, which I think is quite useful here. 5, 6. We're getting close to being able to use this for 7. So we'll be able to do that shortly. So I think we go ahead and create another Golem. Go ahead and use Ruthless Predation here. We'll target the Vorak and hit his Punisher, I believe, because I don't want to have to double block on his Menacer. He could switch this over. I think I actually swing out. It's not great that I have to make the trade, but I want to dwindle his board as much as I can. Bladegraph Aspirant. So we get the plains down. Definitely start building up towards the 5 oil counters here. So we'll just wait for that for now. Question is, do I try to wait until I have a proliferate ability? I don't know how much I even have, if I do have any left in my deck. Excuse me. Doesn't look like I do, so I think I actually just accept this. Just get the 3/3 down. I could even wait for a good swing. I could play this. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I hold back for now. And we'll just actually swing out. Apply pressure this way. Because maybe this will actually force our opponent to go ahead and either let this damage through and then get aggressive themselves, and then they try to flood the board, and then I could respond with White Sun's Twilight and a 3/3 right after the spell resolves. Go ahead and get rid of his Menacer, because he could easily re-equip that as well, so I don't want him to be able to do that. So I'm actually just going to pass, just start building this up to 5 oil counters, start drawing. Our opponent does end up having a pretty good artifact to find here, so he's going to be able to swing out for 3 damage without... Where's he getting the extra bonus from? Creatures you control that are equipped. Interesting. I thought it was just the guy that gets equipped from the Hexgold Hoverwings. That makes it even stronger. So we'll go ahead and put an oil counter on this. We don't have much of a good play here, so I think we may be forced to cast our White Sun's Twilight. Let's go ahead and swing. Let's see what the opponent does first. They might just let this through. They end up letting it through, so we'll take the damage. Question is now, do we go ahead and trigger this White Sun's Twilight? We have all the green sources we need, which is nice for Nissa and the Tyrranax Rex. Is this a big enough board to go ahead and use this ability? He's going to start swinging without a doubt, so if we let him swing and he has an artifact that comes down, he would have a 4 and a 3 attacking creature coming at me. We may even just want to cast this now. I think this is the time. So we'll go ahead and do it now. And then go ahead and activate this. Never mind. I need the mana for it. I forgot I just spent 7. So we can hold off on that at least. That is a big, big hit. That's going to help him stay alive. So, looks like I'm just about to start being able to draw, which is really nice. And I find an Oil Gorger Troll. This is a fantastic top deck for us, so go ahead and start with that. Predation Steward, another nice oil counter creature, so... And I don't want to cast this, so I'm just going to do this, and I'm not going to show my hand by playing either of the lands. It's just bluff. So long as we're able to keep our opponent off the board here, it looks like they're really considering what they need to be able to do. So long as we can keep them off the board, we're going to be able to start applying so much pressure with these creatures here, because they're already at such a significantly low life total compared to us. And then I'm going to have a card draw engine through this tablet, so we're really going to be able to grind them out as well. Bladed Ambassador is actually a pretty decent card here for them, but I don't think it's going to be enough. If they equip it, then they can't defend it with their indestructible ability. Yep, Bladecraft Aspirant resolves. Go ahead and get up to 5 counters. Now we're really going to be putting some pressure on. So I think we actually start with a card draw here. Get a Plague Nurse with our Duelist of Deep Faith. Quite nice. So, a couple options here. I don't think I want to use this just yet. I'm considering putting this on the Oil Gorger Troll so that I can really threaten him. I think I'm going to, and then I can decide whether I want to actually trigger this or play my Plague Nurse down. So let's start with this. Start applying pressure this way. Now he can't double block me, and I'm threatening 5 damage to him. And considering he actually does have the Bladed Ambassador, I don't think I'm going to do the Incubation Sack, because then he'd be able to get a free trade off of it. So let's go ahead and get the Plague Nurse down, since this is more threatening. He'd have to double block if he did want to kill the Plague Nurse as well. Nissa right off the top would be an immediate win. Tyrranax Rex would be an immediate win. Hexgold Hoverwings would actually be an immediate win, because then I could re-equip it to one of my creatures that I can attack with. So we have quite a few ways to actually get a win here. A couple removal spells that'll allow me to do it. I think we're going to go ahead and take this one away, though. Opponent casts Volt Charge on my Predation Steward. Not the worst loss, but it is a loss. Opponent is deciding whether to equip and then lose the ability to use Indestructible on his Ambassador. Considering where they are, I think they would want to keep up the Indestructible to keep a presence on the board, but It's only going to last for so long because they're not going to be able to remove my creatures. I don't think this is going to be enough either. Yep, my turn. And unfortunately, I did manage to find the hover wings, but it's still not enough because now he equipped this. So I'm just going to start by drawing, see what we find. We find a land, which is not helpful, but we'll go ahead and play it anyway. I think we go ahead and just swing out anyway, and then see what they do. They have to double block. They can't let a single one through. And this should be enough to take them out of the running for this game. So they do choose to block, which they had to, and now they have no threats. We'll go ahead and get our 3/3 down and play the hover wings. And this should be more than enough to go ahead and seal the deal. Only thing that could potentially ruin us here is some form of board wipe, but I can't think of one in limited right now that would be enough. They do find another hover wings, but that's still not going to be enough, so we'll just go ahead and go straight to combat, swing out. Yep, perfect. Alright. We are hanging on. So we'll go ahead and jump to the next one and hope we can keep this win streak alive. We have a decent hand here in this round. Question is if we're going to go ahead and keep it, though, because we only have 2 lands. And very concerned we're not going to find one, but I am also very concerned about mulliganing, because I do have, if I do find another land, we can find our 4th land, and then we should have more options after that. So I am going to risk it. But this could very well blow back in my face, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But we will have a nice defensive creature to help us live a little longer in Bladed Ambassador. And we'll go ahead and get that down, because then next turn if we don't find a land, then I can play Crawling Chorus and keep this protected. Yep, unfortunately that's what we're going to have to do since we missed the land. This is exactly what I was a little nervous about, but what are you going to do? Sometimes you just miss the land. -1/-1 until end of turn. That is a brutal response to my ambassador. It's going to be too much for me to be able to protect. Doesn't even matter that I could give it indestructible. So, only thing that could have saved me there was Tyvar's Stand, but I don't have that in my deck. Fortunately, we do find a good land here, so we'll go ahead and play Contagious Vorak, try to find our 4th source, preferably a forest. And we do find it, which is quite nice, so we'll have that for next turn. We'll not swing. And then next turn we get our Plague Nurse down. We'll accept this damage as well. They have their own Plague Nurse, which is a bit of a threat. A nice pickup with the Oil Gorger Troll, so if we do find another land, we'll be able to draw a card and gain 3 life. So I think we do the same. It's either the Ichor Spit or Plague Nurse, or even start creating 3/3s. But I think I need to get my own Plague Nurse down, and then just pass. Now we just have to hope that they don't have any form of removal. Bone Picker Scourge is a bit of a threat. I don't have any way to block that currently, so decisions here since we missed the land. I think in this position here, we just have to start building up our board with 3/3s. Start making it more threatening that way. And then, unfortunately, I have to pass here as well, because they could easily make a very favorable double block trade with the Plague Nurse, and then just, honestly, any of these. It would probably be the Blight Belly Rat, if I had to guess, so just accept this flying damage for now and hope we can find a way to either remove it or start blocking it. I may even consider bringing in my Reachers, because there have been quite a few of these flyers that have been pecking me in the face quite a bit, so I might even cut one of these Acre Spit Basilisks for that. Yeah, I think that'll be the move. Unfortunately, we do miss a land here again, but the good news is that I do have my Ruthless Predation, but I would then be floating 2 mana inefficiently, and I don't think I want to do that. I think I can accept this damage for now still. So just continue making my board wide. And let's go ahead and pass. Yep. Blight Belly Rat, he's trying to go ahead and get the Corrupted working, so just in case if he has a combat trick, I'd rather lose one of these golems as opposed to anything else. So, see what they do. Nice. So we are able to remove some of his board. Unfortunately, he will get me to 3, so now he has Corrupted activated. And he's got a Mirrex. That's going to be really dangerous. He's going to start just making a big board of 1/1s. Nice, we did end up finding the land, but our opponent has started building out his board quite a bit. So the question is, do I go ahead and get my Ichor Spit down alongside this Ruthless Predation and try to remove a creature that way? I think so. I think I go ahead and remove his Scourge so he can't continue pecking me in the face. So, and this will be a nice defensive body, so I'm going to get this down, do Ruthless Predation, get rid of his Bone Picker Scourge. I forgot that it had Death Touch. I should have used it on one of the golems. That was a misplay. That could definitely be a major issue, but hopefully it doesn't come back and bite me, because this was my big defensive body, preventing this Plague Nurse from attacking. He is going to start swinging. I'll block. I'm actually quite happy with that trade, because I'll be able to replace it if I do want to. He does have another Dune Mover. Wow. He's going to start creating a bunch of 1/1s. Nissa is... Excuse me. Nissa is quite a good draw here, but... Let's see. If we play Nissa, I could get Nissa up to 4. I would take 4 damage, and then I would have a 4/4 in line with the rest of my board. So I'd have 5 blockers. He's going to create a 1/1. They would have to swing out. I would block here to kill that. Block, block, block. And then you would have 5, 6 damage still coming through. So potentially the better play is actually to get my oil Gorger Troll down first, and then hopefully find some more land to work with Nissa. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wait one more turn before I consider playing Nissa here, because I need another forest to really make this effective. Unfortunately, I missed the land here. So I just have to pass, and let's see what opponent does. They're not swinging, so that's a good sign for us. And we do find another forest, which is great, because now Nissa can come down as an even bigger planeswalker too. I think first I just continue making my board bigger. So I'm actually going to get this Sylvalk battle chair down first. Let's see what the opponent does here. And we just hold for now. We could potentially even wait until we get to 7 to have a major swing. In order to do that, we'll need to find another land. It doesn't have to be a forest. I would prefer that, because then I'd get even more trample damage. And look at that. Perfect draw. So, he has 2 creatures that can't block. So, he would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 blockers, with a total of an additional 7, 11, 13, 19 total health, plus 18, 37. Right now, if I were to do it, all of my creatures would get +5/+5, and all have trample, so it'd be 6, 8, so 14, 22, 28, 36, 41. Wait, I don't think I did that math right. Let me count again. I do have quite a bit of time, so I just want to make sure I count this out correctly. So everything is getting +5/+5 and trample. So this is 6, 6, 14, 22, 28, 36, 47. 47 damage. That's enough. Yep, Nissa's enough to be able to go ahead and swing this game in our favor, so we'll go ahead and play Nissa and -7 for the ultimate and swing out. They don't have enough to be able to stop all this. Seven, 11, 13, yep, 19, 37 health. So this is enough. I think they're doing the calculations themselves right now, so they are going to go ahead and try to block, but it's going to be all for naught. I don't know if they see that the damage is too much for them. Yep. And this is just too much sometimes. That was such a big swing. Yep, let's go ahead and jump right into that next one and see if we can get that third win. Okay, opponent goes first, so I am on the draw, and this hand, unfortunately, looks like I need to chuck it because... This might just be too slow for me to want to hold on to. I do get to draw quite a bit until turn 3, so potentially this is okay. The opponent has taken a mulligan, so I think I try to keep my card advantage here, even though it's not the best hand. I'm going to do it. Being 2 cards up on the opponent is going to be extremely important. Finding this removal will be nice with the Predation Steward. And we even found the planes too, so this is great. We are against Simic, so there is a potential that this opponent has good, reliable interaction. Like Bring the Ending here could potentially remove my Steward, which I think I'm okay with. So if they want to remove that, they can. But looks like they don't have any counters. They play the Ickerplate Golem. I think we actually remove this right away and get our Crawling Chorus down. Yep. So let's play this land, get the Ruthless Predation down. And now we can start applying some pressure, and we're still going to have card advantage over this, over our opponent here. So this is quite nice. Unfortunately, don't have any more removal in my hand, but I think this is okay. This is a nice little ramper for him, so potentially they're a Simic deck that just wants to get to their high end. Has his own Ruthless Predation, and I'm actually quite happy with that. If I can get him to waste that now, then that's even better. So definitely get our land down, and I think we just play on curve. Get our Plague Nurse down. No attacks and pass. Opponent plays the Seed Core. Don't think this is going to be very helpful to them right now. We do find another land, which is quite nice here. I think I can either do the Viral Spawning for more pressure. But first, I think we just go straight to combat, see what they do. They could potentially have Tyvar's Stand to remove my Plague Nurse, but I think I'm okay with them doing that. They accept the damage instead. So that communicates to me that they potentially have a counter. And if I'm going to have something get countered, I think at this point I would rather have my Viral Spawning get countered, because then I could bring it back. So let's go ahead and get our Bladed Ambassador down first, because I could potentially have a bring the Ending, potentially reject Perfection. I think that's the card, the 2 blue and a colorless to counter, and then potentially Proliferate. Looks like they might be jumping up to a big swing here. Interesting that they're actually Teamer. Opponent is really thinking here. They must be trying to consider whether to get a big swing down. I don't know what they could possibly have. Maybe Ovica? I'm not sure what else they'd be tapping like this for. I think it's Ovica. Oh, Blue Sun's Twilight is actually a little scary. So we'll go ahead and get our Basilisk down. And we'll pass. They are going to be able to draw here, which is a bit unfortunate for us. Hoping to be able to find Annex Sentry here to be able to remove his token. Oh, Mesmerizing Dose is a bit of a pickle here. Opponent could swing with both of these. I would trade double block here and then remove the indestructible counter. They choose not to swing, they're going to be defensive. Interesting. I thought they were going to start trying to apply their own pressure. And just what I wanted. Got the Annex Sentry, go ahead and remove his token of the Plague Nurse here. Oh, it's not a token, huh? Oh no, it is a token, but it's yeah, no, I was actually wrong. They can actually still keep this because it still maintains its mana value of 4. So instead of that, I think we just have to accept the fact that we just go for the Cultivator. I'm not too concerned. They already have so much mana, so I think this is just the better choice here. Just get rid of his creature. Yeah, and then I think I have to unfortunately pass myself. Just want to keep bluffing with this card. This swing here with that Blue Sun's Twilight might be enough to at least get them back into the game, because they're going to start being able to apply pressure with this Furnace Strider especially. He might even put haste on it now. Looks like they are. If he swings with it, then go ahead and double block, I think. They might even swing out entirely. Nope, they choose not to. Considering this, they could only have a 1 mana spell here, and I think I'm okay with actually trading my 3/3 away for this. Go ahead and trigger this so that I keep my Bladed Ambassador alive. See if they have any response. They don't, so go ahead and get a very favorable trade there. It's nice that I'm finding some spells here to play, so I'll go ahead and just get this down and then pass. But starting to stall out a bit. Malcator's Watcher is a bit of a pest. They'll just start pecking me a bit. Just get my planes down, pass. Not going to start swinging yet. But they're going to start being annoying with this guy. Yeah, I forgot to cut one of these for my the 1/3 spider. But I think the best draws for us here are going to be definitely any of our late game. White Sun's Twilight would be nice. Phyrexian Atlas. It's interesting. However much I want to be able to get them to 3 to start draining them, I think in order to do so, I'm just going to lose so much of my board presence in doing so. Because I think they're... If I were to swing with my 3 Toxic, they could easily just block, and then chump. So, unfortunately, I can't do that. I just have to wait. Nissa could actually save us here. I could get rid of this Mesmerizing Dose. This isn't an artifact or an enchantment. Armored Scrapgorger, not really too concerned about. Obviously, could get rid of my Viral Spawning, which would be a bit of a bummer. Interesting. Compleat Devotion. I mean, I think I have to start trying to apply some pressure here. So I'm going to swing with the Duelist. See what they choose to do here. This certainly signals to them that I have something. But if they do end up wanting to trade, they could be trying to call my bluff. They actually do block with the Scrapgorger, which I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of. White Sun's Twilight. Now I really have to hope that they do not have a removal spell. I mean a counter. I'll go ahead and pass. Let's bluff. With the land at least. And hopefully our opponent taps out at some point. Where we can actually feel comfortable casting our White Sun's Twilight, because having any open blue mana is scary. And I have to remember that they can actually create a blue source here. So they could potentially have their own combat trick here. And if they did, I think I'm okay with this trade. So let's see what they do. They could just be trying to apply pressure themselves. But this will at least force them to do some sort of answer. If they were to cast Tyvar's Stand, they'd have to do it for 2 if they wanted to kill both of my creatures. So they would lose 3 mana. See what they end up doing here. It looks like they have some sort of response. Infectious Bite. It's interesting that they chose to do that. I guess they just don't want to lose their... they just don't want to lose that creature. Unless they have another combat trick. But at least I get to block it. I definitely would have thought they would have... It's very strange to me that they wouldn't have chosen to shoot this and then kill both of those creatures. Like, yeah, you would have lost this, but you would have gained back your cultivator. So, very interesting that they chose to do that. Sylvok Battle Chair is a great top deck here. Be able to start applying pressure through that. And then if he does have a counter, okay, they don't. If they did have a counter, then I would have been much more comfortable with casting this. But still, they're not communicating to me that they're going to be able to do that. And our play is actually probably going to be to re-equip it to our Duelist of Deep Faith next turn. I'll just continue bluffing with this land. No point in playing it right now. Viral spawning. Fortunately, they are not going to be able to do too much with this yet. So, accept the damage, and now it's my turn. So it looks like the opponent actually does not have any way to actually deal with this play. So I'm going to do it. Try to get this equipped. Now I'm going to go ahead and swing with the Duelist. The double strike, or the first strike trample, is just going to be so much pressure that we'll be able to apply consistently. So we'll go ahead and swing. If they do end up choosing to triple block, which is actually a pretty decent option. Yep, that's what they end up doing. I think I just go ahead and get rid of the Plague Nurse. Yep. I'm okay with this. It's not the best, obviously, but I think I need to start putting some pressure on them. So, obviously not great, but I'm happy that I'm at least getting rid of his board while still maintaining a lot of pressure with this battle chair. And they're only pecking me for 1 right now per turn, so I'm really not too threatened. So this will be +4/+4. This could go jumping up to a 5/8. Could block out. And then I would kill both of these. But then I would lose the Annex Sentry. So I think the play here is actually to Contagious Vorak. Try to get that. Yeah, yep. We're going to play the Vorak and then follow it up next turn with equipping the Battle Chair. Let's see. Hopefully we don't hit Nissa here. Nice, we didn't hit Nissa, and I'm actually declining this. So we'll proliferate. That'll jump him up to 3 poison counters, and now we can even cast our viral spawning as well. So we'll do that. And now we'll be able to start applying pressure this way. On top of the fact that we can start just pinging him for 1 with our altar. So while they're pinging us for 1 with his Watcher, we'll be able to reply in kind with our altar. So this is quite nice. And then we'll begin swinging out with our Sylvok Battle Chair next turn. And then if, for whatever reason, they're able to get rid of my board in a substantial manner, we'll just respond with White Sun's Twilight to destroy whatever they may have. Yep, they're going to continue pecking me. They'll just do this every single turn, so I just have to accept it. Since I don't have any reaching creatures to protect me, or any flyers as of yet, go ahead and just ping them. Start my turn, proliferate. Searching for the land is actually okay. think I do it just so I can thin my deck, reduce the chance of drawing another land here. Yeah, let's do that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Because there's an argument to be made that I wait. Incubation sac is on the bottom, so you know what? I think I go ahead and cast it instead. Pull out the land. Let's do that. Then out our deck, and we're not going to win on poison counters anyway, so we'll just go ahead and equip this here. If they have a response, so be it. It's actually okay if they do. Yep, that's alright. It's just a slight annoyance. But we'll just go ahead and pass instead. But the good news is that they're having to react to my plays right now. I'm very much in the lead here as of now. But let's see if they're able to get rid of that battle chair. If they do, then that could be quite a risk. And now they'll be able to start pecking me for 3, at least for 2 turns. If they do choose to start using their Predation Steward on the Watcher. So we'll see. Just continue draining them for the 1. I wish this gave a life too, that'd be amazing. Find another land, unfortunately, so we'll just begin with Sylvok Battle Chair, put it on the Contagious Vorak. They don't have another way to interact with this, so we'll go ahead and swing. The opponent could very well just take this damage, but that would put them on a much more dangerous clock. Looks like they're thinking about trading with their Watcher to try to draw or jump with it. Well, I'm not going to kill his Watcher, that's for sure. Yeah, we'll just focus on killing the Plague Nurse and his 3/3. Yep, perfect. This is the trade I was hoping for, so he will be able to start hitting me for... I do want the forest because I have Nissa. I don't really need any more white sources. But, they could very well start hitting me in the face for 3, but if they do choose to do that, they can't block with this Steward, which would then open up the door for me to start doing even more damage. So it looks like they may not have much in ways of... I wonder why they didn't swing at the 1/1. They very well could have. Very weird. Probably just forgot. Planar Disruption. I don't think I use it on any of this board. So we'll go ahead and equip this. We'll go onto the 2/2. Swing with that. See what they do. They just accept the damage here. Very well. And then we pass. We're in no rush here. There's no reason to use this right now. No real threat that they are providing on the board as of yet, so... Yep, that's just enough. Sylvok Battle Chair really does take it away for us. So let's jump right into the next one. Continue this win streak. Oh, there it is. Oh man, this is a bit of a heavy hand with the Tyrranax Rex, but I think considering the fact I have a good turn 2 and turn 3 play, especially on the draw here, I think we keep this. We did make a couple changes since the last game. We went ahead and cut one of the Ickerspit basilisks. Good lord, I can't say this. Try to say this 10 times fast. And then replaced it with one copper longlegs. And then I noticed that the crawling chorus was actually not really helping me at all. Like in that last game, it didn't do anything. So I went ahead and removed that and brought in a Sky Scythe and Golfer. I brought in both of these just because of the reach, because the Flyers have been quite a bit of a threat to us. So that's how we lost our first 2 games pretty badly. So hopefully having some reachers will help us out, especially adding another creature at the top end, allowing us to have a bigger threat later on. I'm not too concerned about losing the chorus, the crawling chorus, just because I've found no use for it really yet. I think the only thing that would be nice with it is the Compliat Devotion synergy, but even that's not good enough to keep it in. So, opponent is Azorius Artifacts, so this is going to be a difficult matchup. They're going to have a lot of defensive tools like this Mandible Justiciar that can also apply quite a bit of pressure. Good news is at least they're not... Oh, wow. They're actually not going to swing. Interesting. So let's start with swinging. See if they're willing to block. They're not, so we'll do that. And then we'll actually go ahead and get rid of his Annex Sentry now. His Mandible Justiciar. This is a nice tempo swing. Probably follow up with a Hexgold Hover Wings here. Dune Mover communicates that they're screwed on land, especially if they put it on top. That's a good sign for us. They don't even have a land drop in hand, so I think we try to continue applying as much pressure here as possible. So let's swing out. Yep, they just accept the damage. It's great for me. Let's see, it's a 2-1. This would be a 3-2, so I'm actually going to play the Plague Nurse, just so I can prevent him from swinging. Cephalopod Sentry. That is a unique card here for them. Yep, white. The Azorius artifacts. Quite dangerous here. Now my dog is barking. Apologies there. Coco, stop. Hey, I'm doing a recording right now. No, you're fine. I can just edit this out. It's no worries.
Oh, you get the itchy face? So, for lunch, Devin?
What?
I either got a freezer meal, like a garlic chicken freezer meal, or we were thinking about going to Ugly Donuts and corn dogs.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm probably gonna head out to climb here pretty soon, and then I'll probably eat after that. Thank you, though.
I can make you some rice if you want to just...
I'm not gonna eat before climbing.
No, I'm saying I can make you some rice so you can eat the leftovers
Okay.
in the fridge when you're done.
That works. So, it looks like we should just get whatever we can get down. Probably just start building up the oil counter here, and then play this. So, we'll go ahead and have to wait and see what the opponent does.
That's a cute piece for your dog short. I think I want to open them.
Alright, so opponent is playing Orthodoxy Enforcer, which is actually quite a big threat. It's going to be a 4/4 Vigilance. Oof. Hopefully they start swinging. They don't. Damn. So we'll go ahead and play the Troll here. It's a nice top deck here. Just get some draw. Hopefully find a land. Nice. So next turn we'll be able to get the Dinosaur down, which will be a nice swing for us. See what happens. Wow, another Cephalopod Sentry. That is a concern. They're swinging with the Enforcer. That's interesting, to say the least. I guess they want us to go ahead and get rid of something, so... Potentially I don't even have to use the Indestructible here. Let's see what they choose. Yeah, I had a feeling. But that's fine. Go ahead and put another oil counter on this. This is quite nice. The question is, do I wait to get the hover wings on it? Because if I swing now, they'll get a very favorable trade, which I am not a fan of. So I think I'm going to go ahead and get the hover wings down. And then just start building this up to be able to draw. So, yep. I think my best bet is just to get a big board. Hope I find Nissa. And I'll be able to start finding that in a couple more turns. So, feed the infection. They're going to draw 3 and lose 3. That's actually very good for us. They're starting to take a lot of damage. I don't think I have enough yet to kill them, but this is really good. This could potentially be enough damage. We'll count it here. Alright, so we have 4, 7, 10, 13, plus 8, 21. If they were to block 3, 1, 2, 3, we'd have 12 going through. I think this is enough. And then if they were to double block here with the cephalopods and then block one of these, we'd have 6, 9, 10. So no matter what. Yep, we got it. Good game. This should be enough, unless if they have some sort of interaction here. Hopefully they don't have a 1-mana spell that could potentially help them, but I think we got it. Just in case, we'll go ahead and remove this counter. But should be enough for the win. Very nice. We're staying alive. See if we can continue this on to the next one. Alright, so this actually looks like a pretty decent hand here. We have 2 lands, and we have a lot of 2-drops. So, while I would much rather have 3 lands, I think I'm actually okay with this. Vindictive Flamestoker. Interesting. So this could be a... Interesting, it's a Gruul oil counter deck, potentially. Nice, we found a 3rd land, which is really good for us. I think I go ahead and start with the Copper Longlegs, because I do want to be able to have the oil counters out. This is more defensive. This could easily have been Hex Gold slashed, which didn't want that to happen. Looks like they're just going to try to fetch a land. they do manage to find one. Yeah, that's all they're going to end up doing. Our turn, we'll just go ahead and get our Predation Steward down and pass. Okay, so let's see if they have any good 3-mana ability here. That's a brutal way to get rid of my incubation sac. Wasn't very nice. Let's see. This would be a +1/+2. It could kill his Vorak with this. But I think I'd rather use my mana a little bit more efficiently. Furnace Strider. That is a bit of a nuisance. Yeah, I'm gonna save it, so we'll go ahead and play our Contagious Vorak. Try to find another, what's it called? Forest. We do find it. Perfect. Unfortunately, we can't kill his Strider just yet, so I think we'll have to do a combo of Predation Steward and then Ruthless Predation. But until then, we'll just pass. Everything else isn't too much of a threat, but he could have a big drop here that he plays. Venerated Rock Priest. It's going to be annoying to deal with. Brass Anointer, he does have 3 creatures with oil. So he'll be able to remove one of these two. Potentially my Predation Steward if they choose. Honestly, can remove anything. Goes for the token. Interesting. I'm actually not unhappy about that at all. Probably going to start trying to apply pressure, unfortunately. Yep. So, let's see what they do. Okay, this makes my decision quite difficult, actually. So, I feel like this Oil Gorger Troll is going to be absolutely necessary. So, I think our play here is to block the Brass Anointer. Yep. I'll take 7. And now I hope I can find... If I find a land, I'll play the Battle Chair, which would be quite nice. Ooh, I did find it. So, yep, we're going to get this down. And then next turn, we could potentially, if we don't draw a land, play the Troll to see if we can find it, and then do Ruthless Predation. Rib Skiff is actually a little scary. Good news is, they can't swing with it now. Unless they wanted to give it haste. That's going to be annoying. Furnace. They could even draw right now if they wanted to. Vindictive Flamestoker is actually a little scary. That might actually be the card that we need to get rid of here. So we're going to start with Oil Gorger Troll. Go ahead and draw. Gain a life. This is a huge pickup. So we're going to Ruthless Predation on his Vindictive Flamestoker. I'm actually really terrified of him drawing 3 or 4 cards, yeah. Have to do this. I can't let him draw 4. I'll take away the game, without a doubt. The question is, do we swing here? And I don't think I do. He gets a very favorable double block, where I would only be able to kill his Furnace Strider, which isn't going to be enough for us, I think. Potentially it is good enough. Let's see. Next turn, we play Nissa. Everything gets +5/+5. This is normally a 6/6. So we would have 6 + 7. 13, 24, 32. They have 25, 8, 31, 33. And I do 32 damage, so I'd be able to get them to 1. So yeah, we wait. So... Oh yeah, and they have the rib skiff, so... They actually could get a bump up in health as well. To 30... What was it? 33, so it would have been 34. Because I can tap their Vorak. So I think I just continue making my board a little bit wider. Play it a little slow. Yep, Bolt Charge would have been bad for us. So let's try to get all of this out while we can. I might even just play Nissa and just start plussing to make my board even bigger, even more threatening. And now that they're pretty tapped out, and it looks like they want to draw. So, yep, we're going to get Nissa down for the full ability, start creating the big creatures, and then if not this turn, then potentially the next we can go ahead and swing out, kill him. But now we're in a really good spot here. We have so many big creatures here. Be very difficult for them to even stop me. Yeah, they're fetching, trying to find something. I think Nissa, yep, they're too scared. Can't do anything about it. Wow. So we're at 5 wins. Let's see if we can keep this even more alive. Can we get all the way? Okay, so this hand is not the best. We do have 2/2 drops with our 2 green sources, which is nice, and we have a decent chance of finding another land. Preferably a plains, so let's see what that percentage looks like. Yep. About 1 in 5, so it'll be around like 40% chance for the plains to pop up. So I think we risk it. We can even get our tablet down early. Let's see what they end up doing here. Okay, interesting. Given this, man, this is not that great here. I think I'd rather be a little more defensive. Just start preventing him from attacking, getting my health down. And if they want to remove this with a spell, I'm happy. Even this is okay. Like, it's not great, but at least they're not playing another creature down or something, you know? So, I think our best bet here is to definitely get the incubation sac down. And then we'll go ahead and start building up the tablet so that we can... Oh, whoa, whoa. No, I don't want to attack. Start building up the oil counters on this, too. They are swinging, so, yeah, I'll block. Don't really know why they're swinging. Okay. A weirdo. Makes no sense. So... whenever this enters the battlefield, whenever it attacks. So I think that's worth dropping the planar disruption on. I could even start cracking my incubation sac, but I think playing this and the predation steward is better. And then I can get this to 2. I'll have 5 mana. Yeah. Not overthink it. Just do that. So we can't do anything with that creature now. And now we just pass. Hope this is enough. And then instead of playing any of my creatures, I'll probably just start cracking this. Stinging Hive Master. Not that bad. Obviously, the 1/1 attached to it is a little annoying, but it should be okay. And then we'll just continue building this up to be able to draw. And that's not a problem. The only problem is if they have Infectious Bite or a fight ability with it, where they can get a good trade off of it. So now we get another land, which is pretty nice. So go ahead and get our forest down and just crack this. Just start going wide with my golems. To block this, I probably would just use the long legs. But this might even be worth cracking for the proliferate to bump both of these up. Not sure yet. Especially if he has a... Especially if they have a way to target it or remove it. Let's see what they do. So they're going to swing. Nope. Actually choose against it. Oh, wow. Did not expect them to be Jund. So I'll just do the oil counter. Sylvok Battle Chair is very nice here. The Death Touch is still a little scary, but I'm going to play it. I think this is too good to pass up here. Pass. Not being able to cast this is a bit of a bummer here, but I think we have a pretty high percentage of our lands as plains. Yeah. Much more likely to draw that than a forest. And I already have all the forests I need for Nissa. So, let's see what they do. They don't do anything here, so that's really good news for us. Go ahead and get this plains down. Question is, do I want to start swinging? And then I could even re-equip the battle chair if I wanted to. Go to combat, and I think this is okay. I'm gonna do it. I know that he has the Death Toucher, but at least I can start applying pressure through this chair. Potentially even force him to throw out a spell from his hand. Nope, looks like they're okay with just doing this and taking 5. They could have Tyvar's stand to make it indestructible. Yep, that's exactly what they're doing. It doesn't really matter that they put it up to a 6/6. Kind of weird that they did that, but whatever. It's fine with me. I think then we just get the Plague Nurse down. Maybe I should have actually cracked this for Golem instead. So. Yeah, I probably should have held on to this instead, but I think this is still okay. If they swing with that, I'm okay with it too. So let's see what they do. Not sure what they're going to be able to do here. That'll keep them alive. And they have another spell or potentially land in their hand right now. Because otherwise it would have passed to combat right away. Drowning Ichor. Wow. Okay. Proliferate. He'll get another oil counter, but doesn't really matter. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'll go ahead and double block here. Lose a golem. And then I could even block and then sacrifice this. I'm going to. For the proliferate ability here. Yep, happy with this. And then now we'll be able to start drawing. Got another proliferate. So I could do this, and then he would just have a 1/1. Might. Let's not overthink this too much. Let's go ahead and just start by drawing. See what we get. Get another land. It's pretty nice. And then, yeah, let's just create another creature here. And then, no, we actually may want that for proliferating. So let's hold. See what they do. The only thing that could punish me with this White Sun's Twilight is indestructibility. But they already used it. Tyvar's stand. Pretty unlikely they have another one in limited. So we'll see. See what they do. The fact that they're not doing anything right now makes me think that they top decked the land. But I still haven't decided if I wanted to cast this for the land. Oh. Wow. Well. I definitely want to get rid of this Hive Master. Question is, do I want to take any toxic damage? Maybe this can force him to play whatever is in his hand. Nice, he does. That's perfect. I'm really glad I baited that out then. Perfect. So then we'll go ahead and cast this for 5. And this will probably be enough to make him concede. And yeah, we'll go ahead and pass. They did end up finding Phyrexian Arena. Wow. Well, I think poison is going to be my way to win here, so let's do that. We'll start by drawing here. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we're going to hold. Oh my goodness, yeah. I think this is it. Because, yep, just too much. We are now pushing for that final win, I believe. Or is that 6 or 5 wins? I can't remember now. Yep. Last chance. Final boss. Here we go. Alright, so opponent goes first. Got Compliat Devotion, got Incubation Sac, and yeah, it's okay. Not the best, but I don't want to mulligan when I actually do have a hand that can do something for me. So go ahead and see what we can find here. Looks like we're both Selesnya. White Sun's Twilight is a great find here, so we'll start with just our Copper Longlegs and then see what they got. Looks like they're going to be a little bit more of a slow deck, so let's just swing. Get our viral spawning down, and see what happens. So far, we've got a nice curve coming out. They've got Plague Nurse, which is a bit of an issue. Let's see if they're willing to block here. Nope. Okay. Given that, we'll just go ahead and start cracking this. Just get our 3/3s out. Next turn, if we don't find a land. Ooh, Nissa. Okay. Well, this forces our play to do Annex Sentry. And then Go ahead and hit that. And then we're going to swing out at Nissa. Hopefully he blocks one of the 3-drops, and he even chooses the Toxic, so then now we get to draw and then kill his Plague Nurse. Beautiful. Exactly what we were hoping for here. This could be enough to completely swing it in my favor here. It's going to be very difficult for them to get back on the board. And it was enough. Wow. And we managed to get through 7 straight wins after 2 losses kicking this off. Wow. This is incredible. Wow. Well, I am just absolutely pleased. So, thank y'all for tuning in, because that was incredible being able to go ahead and finish this off. I'm now ready for Arena Open Day 2, which is going to be the All Will Be One draft, which I love drafting. So I'm excited about being able to do that next. So thanks y'all for tuning in again, and please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content, and see y'all in the next one. And don't forget to grab a taco on your way out of the stand. Yes! Thank you!